So yeah, here's Seliph. We passed on a crap ton of items. The Brave Sword, which is almost in killing range. And he has the Paragon Band, the Leg Ring, Speed Ring, Shield Ring, and Power Ring. So Seliph, he's really good. He's really, really, really good. He may not start out as awesome as his dad, but he definitely becomes worthy of being his dad's son towards the end of it. Like, he can promote really quickly. I think it's very feasible, I think, for us, since he has the Paragon Bank, to, like, promote in Chapter 7, early on in Chapter 7 at some point.
Oh, yeah.
His growth rates are insane. 140% HP, some of the highest HP growth in the game, I think.
And that's saying something.
Yeah, that's really good. You know, he'll grow really, really, really fast, and once he gets his mount upon promotion, he'll just kick all sorts of ass. He has Pursuit, which is all he needs to be good in combat. His father's Brave Sword, honestly, this thing might as well be as good as the tier thing, in my opinion, especially once it starts critting. It's gonna be one of the best weapons in the game. Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, yeah, it sucks a little bit. He has to walk around on foot for a little while, but we did pass down the Leg Ring to help with this, so this should honestly be fine. And yeah, he's just probably one of the best lords in the series, honestly. Rate him 5 out of 5 stars, easy. He's really, really good.
For sure. I mean, Seliph is not as broken as Sigurd, because Sigurd starts out with a mount and everything broken, and he gets to build up all the kills on the Brave Sword and get all the rings from droppable bosses and stuff. Droppable rings from bosses. But Seliph can inherit that all really easily, because like everything just kind of falls into Sigurd's lap as he kills everything, so it's very logical for him to keep a lot of that. And he also gets a lot of money, so it's very easy to pass on anything you want to Seliph. And honestly, Paragon Band and Leg Ring, they make anyone good, but Seliph is by far the best user of them, because you can get to that early promotion, and because the game is really focused. It's like, you can only go as fast as Seliph goes, so the sooner you get him promoted, and the sooner you get him to level 20, the sooner you get him able to kill everything with a crit Brave Sword, the better it is for you. Like, even outside of like an LTC run or a speed run, it's just the easiest way to play FE4. It's the way you make it yourself easiest. And as far as I know, characters that trivialize the game are better than characters that don't. And Seliph definitely trivializes the game if you raise him right. But you can make anyone good with these resources, but he's by far the best user of them. And that, in my book, makes Seliph pretty damn good. Not as good as Sigurd, but still easy to be 5 stars. Definitely really powerful unit.
Yep, absolutely. So, let's take a look at our actual kids, shall we? Let's start with Larcei's, everyone's favorite. And I'm sure Mecha will piss off nobody with this rating.
Yeah, I think right now it's less controversial than it used to be.
Yeah, so Larcei. Her parents are Lex and Ira. We decided to give Lex to the Sword Kids, even though technically there are other pairings he works really well for too. I think our justification for giving her Lex is that Larcei and Ulster are not as easy to level as everyone else because they're on foot and they often lag behind. And with Paragon, you pretty much just need to clear the gauntlet with them every chapter and they'll probably like almost reach level 30 with a few extra kills. I think that's our justification for doing it. Yeah, we passed on the Silver Sword to her. It's not the Sigurd Silver Sword, it only has 12 kills, but it's still a pretty good weapon for her to have. She comes with a million skills. Pursuit, Nihil, Vantage, Astra, and Paragon. Pretty funny set of skills. Like, combat-wise, Larcei's really good. I mean, she's kind of similar to Ulster in a way. Like, they're practically almost the same unit. I mean, she's gonna... I don't think she quite won rounds at the beginning of the game, but she'll reach a point where she pretty much would just delete anything she attacks. And, you know, once she procs her Meteor Sword, or I still call it Meteor Sword, I'm such an old school person.
Okay, Boomer.
Yeah, okay, Boomer, I deserve that one. She'll clear the arena just completely without any issues whatsoever. And thanks to Lex's Nearblood, her defense growth is pretty alright. And she also has a 125% hit point growth, so she'll quickly reach a point where she's really durable. Of course, this is FE4, she has no mount, and I actually feel like a lack of a mount is almost worse in the second generation, because the maps are actually like quite a bit larger. For that reason, I feel like Larcei and Ulster, they really get left behind in the dust. But since they have Paragon, it's not like they really need a lot of extra kills. I think, as I said, I think just by the gauntlets alone, I think they'll go well past their promotions. It's not going to be a problem capping them out, I think. But I give this Larcei, of course, our ratings will be a little subjective. They won't be like universal because of course depending on your parents the children can vary in strength, but I think this Larcei is like a solid 3 out of 5 stars.
3?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, fair enough. I can see the reasoning for that. It depends on how you look at the game, right? Because if you're just trying to beat it with mounted units and go fast, then Larcei really won't get to do much. So anyone who's trying to beat FE4 as quickly as possible or trying to use the best units possible, in the end probably won't end up using Larcei all that much because in the end she only has 6 move. And I think it's not just that the maps are bigger in size, but I think there's more maps where there's very little going on for a long time. There's a lot of maps where you just walk through nothing at all. And every turn where there's nothing going on, your mounted units get further and further ahead of dismounted units. And Larcei is going to do that. And Ira had the same problem, her mom had the same problem, but I think it's like every little bit of that got like increased a little bit. Like her combat is better than Ira's, but the lack of a mount is definitely impacting her more than anyone else. And I think I will personally, if I was like trying to rate characters in like a tier list, I would probably give Larcei 2 stars in the end.
Oh wow!
Because I think mounts, lack of a mount is that bad, but that means that like everyone without a mount ends up at around 2 stars because it's just that big of a thing. But to create a bigger distinction, I'm gonna go along with 3 stars. I do think our combat is good. The reason we gave Lex to these two specifically, or to Ira specifically, is because, well, first of all, these 2 kids both join right away, so they get to enjoy Paragon for the entire game. Neither of them can use staves ever, so we don't ever waste the Paragon, like by giving it to, say, Sylvia's kids or Siltu's kids, or giving it to Seti would have been very bad. So you want to give it to 2 people who can use combat and who can use pretty much all the arenas. That's pretty much the reasoning for Lex with Ira, but it can work with like anyone. I just think this is the best way to go. And this way, I don't think you have to feed them any kills whatsoever on the field. You can give it all to Seliph or Trist or what's his name, Dermontt, or whoever you want. I don't think they will need a single kill on the field, but you can give him a couple, I guess. It's not going to make a big difference in the end. It's not going to make a big difference in the end. Also, real quick about Larcei is, a lot of people bring up that Larcei is a lot better than Ulster, who we're probably about to do next. I think the difference is very minimal. The big difference is that Larcei promotes to Swordmaster, whereas Ulster promotes to a hero. And Swordmaster does have better caps, higher speed cap, particularly higher skill cap, I think.
And they get adepts.
And Swordmaster get adepts, yeah. And that sounds like a big difference maker because it's like one more pretty good skill in this game. I mean, 20 plus AS% chance to attack again. It sounds pretty good. But like, if you look at their combat post promotion, they both kill everything, almost regardless of parent. But especially when they've got Lex or Holin or Jamka or something, they just kill everything anyway. So it's really overkill. So I really don't think it makes that big a difference between the 2, which one of them pick. I'm going to rate them the same. 3 stars for both, probably. I don't think they're all that different, but sure, Larcei is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Sure. A little bit, but not that much. But people love Larcei a lot more than they love Ulster for some reason.
Yeah, I have no idea why. I don't understand that. Yeah, speaking of Ulster, I mean, yeah, everything we said to Larcei, honestly, that applies to Ulster as well.
You hear that, Ulster? Shit.
He does actually have a little advantage over his sister right away, because we passed down the Silver Blade from Lex. This is the blade he walked around with for the entirety of the first generation.
Right. I remember.
This actually allows him to one-round the Axe Fighters, which is more than his sister can do. Of course, if they proc Astra them, they'll kill them regardless, but he does actually have a little bit of an edge over her at this moment, because the Silver Blade is actually pretty good. I mean, it is the best weapon in the game, obviously.
It's the best Silver Blade in the series, probably.
It's the best, yeah. Honestly, this Silver Blade is on the steroids. I love this Silver Blade. He is the reincarnation of Eliwood. But yeah, like, what's the difference between them? There isn't really any, like, aside from the Adept and the, like, if you really want to get nitpicky, then like growth rate wise, Ulster has like a little bit more skill and a little bit less speed and a little bit more strength actually, and a little bit more HP. But aside from that, they're basically identical. They have the same skills. They're both sword fighters. They'll both play exactly the same. So yeah, rate them 3 out of 5 stars.
I agree. There's nothing really to add. I like using these units. I'll just say that much. They're fun to use. But I think just like Luna and Gen 1. Their combat is overkill, and they would really, like, if they can convert a little bit of their overkill combat into like even 1 or 2 points of movement, I would take it in a heartbeat. Like if I had to handle like 3 speed, 3 skills, 3 strength for just 1 move, I would probably do it just because it makes such a big difference. But I can't make that trade. No one is offering me. So
oh yeah,
here we are with 2 unmounted units to kill everything.
All right, here's Lana. She's our priest.
Hey, stabs.
She mixes very well with warfare, contrary to what Seliph says.
Can we not kill this horse, please?
Yeah.
Some horses like to live. We need all the horses. It's FE4.
I wish she got a horse. That'd be amazing. So Lana, she is the daughter of Aideen, and I think we gave her Midir as a parent. She doesn't really care about her father, honestly. Like, she has some daddy issues. She doesn't really, like she'll heal. That's all she needs to do. The pairing doesn't really affect her. We were much more focused on making Lester good with this pairing. Although, I kind of regret not... Like, I would have liked to see Claude as her parent and, like, passing down the rescue staff. I think we could have done some fun shenanigans with that. But it's not a big deal, honestly. She'll walk behind the rest of the army and she'll proc. And she'll cost her physic whenever she needs to. I think she's one of those characters that are going to cap out even if we don't try.
Easily, yeah. Staffs get a lot of XP.
So, I mean, she got a costs from her father, which is, yay. Yeah, costs. That's a good cleric skill.
I mean, at least it can't activate when she's like on enemy phase, so that's good. It's not FE5.
Oh, it doesn't work like it does in FE5. Okay, I didn't know that actually. I thought it just killed her.
Bro, don't you remember how often you procced it with no wish?
Oh right. Oh right. You're right. So yeah, we passed on a buttload of staffs to her. She's just gonna be our staff bot. I like Lana. She's cool. I rate her 4 out of 5 stars.
I think 4 is a lot for someone who only has like 3 move or 5 move, but I personally I would go with 3 stars. I think she's alright, but she's just like it's like we discussed this in Gen 1 a lot, where it's like people who need the least also get the least amount of resources, and that makes them good, but it also means that they're not going to be very interesting or anything to work with. See, they're just going to use a staff every turn.
Yeah.
And I remember we warp spammed a lot in Gen 1, and we're going to do it in this game too. This gen actually has a lot of places where you want to warp between a lot of castles, so that'll be good. But she's not the only one who can do it, so I can't really give her full credit for warp staff. But it's pretty nice that she has it. She can just get people to a castle if they need new weapons, or if you have 2 castles conquered, you suddenly need to go the other way, then you can warp someone there. It would have been nice to have Claudius or that, because rescue and fortify also would have been really nice to have. But she's all right. She'll be useful, but not very spectacular or anything. I'm gonna go with 3 stars for this one.
All right. Okay, well, we can finally play. Yay, we got good units. Woo!
Yay, we can talk about more units.
Yeah, this is why you're here. Oifey!
The OG Oifey.
Yeah, he's not a mini Jagan, he's an Oifey. He is really, 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 really good. This guy has, like, I don't know, is it safe to assume he's the Sigurd of the 2nd generation?
I don't know about that. I think Sigurd stands out a lot more, but Oifey is pretty damn good.
Yeah, look at those bases, man. Look at those bases. He's crazy. So yeah, look at this guy. He's just really, really good. It's level 15 Paladin. Comes with really good base stats. He also has Holy Blood, in case you didn't know. I didn't check out the Holy Blood of the previous guys, but...
Oifey has Minor Baldo Blood.
There we go. Yeah, he has Minor Blood. I think he's like the nephew of Sigurd or something?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, he's really good. He's got the great mustache of Doom. And unlike a lot of other Jagans in the series, he actually has really good growths, so he'll easily catch up with the other kids. Like, I think towards the end of the 2nd generation, he does, like, the other kids start to bypass him a little bit, but he'll more than hold his own for the entirety of the game. Comes with the critical skill, which is just really nice. Allows him to, you know, deal some extra damage in a pinch. And yeah, no, Oifey's just crazy. He's really good. He'll completely carry the game for you until your kids can get into their own, which they do pretty quickly, honestly. But like at the start of the chapter, like it's very nice to have Oifey because there's a particularly tough boss coming up pretty soon, which I personally like to use Oifey to kill. I rate him 5 out of 5 stars easy. Like, how is there any other rating you could give this guy? Just look at those bases, man. They're crazy.
Yeah, I think Oifey is kind of a funny thing because the Oifey archetype is all about like Jagans with growth.
Yeah.
Like Jagan is like the original FE1 character that has like no growth. But there's like a lot of misconceptions about these, and I had like a tier list video where I kind of discussed a couple of these. So Oifey's growths compared to like a lot of kids, they actually aren't all that great. He does have minor blood, but there's a lot of kids with like some kind of major blood or like 2 different holy bloods. They tend to surpass him. He does have 100% HP growth, 40% strength, 50% skill, and he only has 30% speed though, so that's not all that high. I think the main draw for Oifey, just like a lot of other people, is just the good bases. He's really bulky with 40 HP, 17 defense. He can take a ton of hits without dying, of course, which is the important part.
Yep.
He's fast enough to double, but almost everyone is. Strength is really high. He can use almost any sword you want him to because he has 8 ranked swords, I believe. He's super good. He has the Armor Slayer right now, which is, I think, supposed to make him weaken people for you instead of getting them killed. Because he has low might against anything that's not armor. But the weird thing is that he has the critical skill. So if you wanted to weaken something and he just crits accidentally, that can actually be kind of annoying. His XP gain is really low.
Yeah.
Because unlike Sigurd, who's like pre-promote with a really low level, he just has a really high level, and that makes him gain very little XP for you. So I actually don't really want Oifey to kill things in a rank run. But Oifey has like a lot of like really niche things that he can do. For example, against like Wyvern Riders, enemy Wyvern Riders, at base level, no level ups whatsoever, just a magic ring and like a light brand. You can one round enemy Wyvern Riders with a javelin, or with a light brand at range, just at base. It's super stupid how stupid he can do that, but he can do that kind of stuff without any kind of training, and that's really nice. But honestly, I do think he falls into the same things as like Jagans, where he doesn't really he doesn't really fall off per se, but he does become relatively worse compared to holy weapon users that have a mount and that kind of stuff. So I still think he's 5 stars. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely really good. But I think people misinterpret a little bit. Like when they think of Oifeys, they think of like Seth and Titania, but I don't think Oifey is as dominant as they are. He's just really good, but not broken kind of good.
Yeah.
That was a long rant, but I find this kind of misconception very, very interesting. And
wow, you don't like misconception? You should make a video series about that.
Yeah, like Fire Emblem potholes or something.
Potholes. Anyway, say hello to Dermontt, also known as Dermontt in the official translation, or just Delman. I think Delman is like the best name.
I think it's supposed to just pronounce it the way it looks here.
Dermontt, yeah. No, yeah, I think so too. So this is honestly, Project Naga nailed a lot of the names, honestly. Dermontt, he is the son of Rockessus and Beowulf. He's a sword knight, which may not sound all that good, but I think Dermott's pretty good. We passed on a crap ton of stuff to him because his father was so rich. Like literally, like his father was swimming in gold.
Richest mercenary to ever live.
Yeah, right? We all know why Rockessus married him. We passed on, I think you actually passed on Sigurd's Silversword. Yeah, we did. 44 kills on this bad boy. So it's about to get critical, which is gonna make Dermontt really, really good.
Things are about to get critical in here.
Things are about to get very, very critical in here. He comes with Pursuit, Charm, and a Cost, which are honestly great skills for him to have. Being the son of Beowulf and having minor Hazul blood, his strength growth is ridiculous. Probably one of the strongest characters. He's 80% strength growth, so he'll cap that out no problem. Also has a 120% HP growth, so not only is he strong, he's very bulky as well. His resistance isn't all that great, but honestly, he'll probably be... I think he'll reach a point where he can just one-shot at least like infantry mages, which is gonna be a lot of fun. The bargain ban is gonna be great. We're gonna sell it around a little bit, I think, to, you know, get actually not sure if we're gonna sell the bargain ban around, but the Paragon Ring...
I would not sell a bargain ban for a while unless you get really overkill gold. It's very expensive.
Yeah, but he's never gonna struggle with money. He's never gonna struggle with money. So we want to pair him up with someone probably and like dump money on her, just like we did with Beowulf.
Yeah.
I rate Dermontt 4 out of 5 stars. Just a really good unit. Swords are pretty good in FE4, so being a sword knight isn't as bad as it sounds. And he'll just kill a lot of things really quickly and be really good.
Yeah. I mean, having a mount alone is really good, of course. Mount, pursuit, and swords is a formula for success. One small thing about Dermontt that I want to note that's kind of annoying, that I've always found annoying about him, is I find his base is kind of low in some areas. His speed doesn't really look spectacular. I think it's because there's single digits in battle around.
Yeah.
For some reason, he seems to get hit for me a lot more than he should be, but that's my own bias. But this defense is kind of low. I think it gets like 2 shot by some max users sometimes. It's kind of annoying. I think there's a chance
he gets 18 avoid. It's not that spectacular.
No, not at all. And then his I think he gets one shot by the Dark Mage in the next chapter as well sometimes, but I think that might be confusing it with some other character. But
there's definitely a character that gets one shot by those mages.
Yeah, it's either him or Lester sometimes. It depends on the dads too, of course, and like how lucky you got with their HP level ups and everything. Not to say that he's bad, don't get me wrong, there's just some downsides to him. I definitely like him a lot, but he's one of those characters that really benefits from investment because there's a lot of things you can give him, like strong swords, or in this case the bargain band, skill ring, renewal band. Those are all really nice, and it will help him get through a lot, but I think this is someone who's going to need some help clearing arenas and getting a lot of level ups. I think he'll need more help than it looks like, but he can help on the field a lot. He also has the charm from Lachesis, which he can put him like near to someone else and help him kill someone else. Nanna has it as well. That gives you a lot more options to boost your hit rates and avoid rates in the Gen 2, which is super nice. But generally a really good character, but he's going to need some help getting really good. Also, he gets adept after promotion. That's
great, yeah. I mean, once his Silver Sword gets crit on it, he's going to be a lot better. What did you rate him?
I would give him 4 out of 5.
Yeah. Alright, okay, Lester. Yay, Lester the Unlikely. This is the reason why we gave Midir to Aideen. He's the son of Midir and Aideen. And he is a bow knight, and he has the aforementioned machine gun build, as I like to call it, where he just has the brave bow, and he also has pursuit and a cost, so he'll just go pew 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 pew. He'll just shoot like 1,000,000 arrows per turn. Pretty much anything you attack with a brave bow will most likely die, unless it's like a really strong boss or something. So Lester, he's a bow knight, and that's honestly pretty good. Like, he can shoot, and then he can counter out of range. There's a lot of things that Lester can do. He's not really going to be an enemy face unit though, but you have plenty of units capable of enemy facing in the 2nd generation, so I don't find this to be a huge handicap. Midir gives him pretty good growths, 40% strength, 55% speed is all he'll need. He'll double, no problem, against most enemies. And there's also a lot of flyers in the 2nd generation, a lot of really strong flyers actually, so yeah, he'll be pretty effective against those. In many cases, I think the Brave Bow is going to be complete overkill. I think the Killer Bow just works just as fine. Not really sure how well he's going to do in the arena. Like, he's a little frail, so we'll see how that goes. I'm a little unsure what to rate him. I put down 3 out of 5 stars for him initially, but a little bit wondering if maybe I should put it up to 4, but he is a bow knight. Like, he's not as good as the other mounted units.
If it helps, I'm on the same mind. It's hard to choose between 3 and 4.
I think I'm gonna stick with 3 out of 5 because yeah, he does have a mount, but he's also like locked to bows, which isn't fantastic.
Yeah, that's the thing though, right? Because I think he's much better than Larcei and Ulster, for example. They don't have a mount, and there's definitely a big gap between that. So that's why I'm kind of inclined to give him 4 instead. And also because Dermontt also has his own issues. You covered it pretty well. He's kind of like a better version of Magir in that way. A lot of kids are better versions of their parents.
Yeah.
They inherit bows and better weapons as well. The problem with bows is that they don't really have very good stats. I believe they have kind of low hit rates, like 70, except for Killer Bow. Killer Bow is 100, but the Killer Bow, he doesn't really crit with it very often because his base skill is 8, so it's literally 8% crit. It's never really going to happen unless you don't count on it. So that kind of can be annoying for him. He can miss sometimes if you use other bows, but generally he'll hit enough hits where it's helpful. He can one-round people with the Brave Bow, as long as they're slow enough to double, because that's such enormous might, right? It's never gonna have like crit on it, but he doesn't really need it. He's pretty fine where he is. Hit and runs can be kind of tricky in this game because oftentimes he'll face like huge groups of enemies, so you have to run out to them and run out of their range, and they'll usually be able to like reach you anyway. But if you can like surround him, put him like behind other people, and that'll be fine. I just kind of, like I said this before, I think I wish this game had indoor maps where it would be much easier to cover him. But other than that, I think he's pretty damn good. I'm going to give him 4 out of 5 as well. It's pretty nice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you said 3, yeah.
I said 3.
I definitely think it's important to say that he's better than Ulster and Larcei for sure. The mount is so important in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, no, we're just going to run after these guys. All right, well, say hello to Julia.
Yay.
So Julia is, as I've learned, not a child unit. I thought she was. I thought she'd be related to Deidre somehow, but apparently no, she always turns out like this.
Pitfall.
So Julia, she's like a mini Deidre. She's really good, actually.
Must kill.
She's actually really good. Like, she can heal, she can fight. She's a little frail, but she's also kind of like Deidre. She has the plot armor where if
she can heal, she can fight. Empty item list.
If she gets killed, she just gets transported to the nearest castle. I still actually don't know how this interacts with the ranking. I don't know if a Julia kill is treated as a death.
Well, like there's two survival ranks, right? There's one that's like, are all your units alive? And the other is like, you have 3 losses. I have a feeling it would count as a loss. At the very least.
Probably does count as a loss, yeah. So she comes with Pursuit, Adept, and Heal, but I find that she doesn't fight all that well until she becomes a Sage. She's kind of frail. She doesn't get her mother circlet. When does she get the circlet?
Chapter, final chapter, actually.
Okay, so she doesn't have miracles. You can't arena, but she has staves, so it's very easy to get her to max level. It's not hard at all, honestly. Now, where to rank Julia? Actually, I'm not quite sure where to put her. I mean, she's a healer. She can fight. I mean, you kind of need her for the final boss, but that's like, I don't know if we should consider that like part of her utility, because it's like at the end of the game, probably not.
It's part of it, but a very small part of it.
It's a very small part of it, and it's not like you can't kill the final boss without her. It's just a little bit more tedious. So I think I'll give her like 3 out of 5 stars. She's alright. She does, I also forgot to mention that she does go away for the last chapter and doesn't come back until the end of it. So there's like 2 chapters actually she's not available for, which is a hell of a lot better than her mom, but she's still pretty available. And she can promote to Sage, which is nice too. Yeah, I like her.
Yeah. One thing to add though, you said she's not like very tanky. She does get the Nosferatu tome, I think she should. She has like 2 options, Aura or Nosferatu.
If you visit the right castle, yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably discuss that as it happens, but we're definitely going for Nosferatu, which is lighter than Deirdre's Aura, and that's why it's better, because she has Pursuit and Adapt, so she wants all the speed she can get. If with Nosferatu, she would have negative AS, but that's still fast enough to double the Dark Mages next chapter, so she's very good against those. Her resistance is absolutely bonkers. It's like her highest base stat, and it's only going to go further because of all the Holy Blood she has. And that makes her like, I hate to say it, but she's really good against mages.
She's a mage killer.
She also has Weapon Triangle over all kinds of mages, other than Dark Mages and fellow Light Mages. So, not like that she needs the Void very badly, but I guess the hit bonus is nice because Rosire can be a little bit inaccurate. Rosire and Nosferatu are the same thing. I forgot which patch uses. Her magic is really high, so she actually fights quite well if she can hit. There are enemies she can one-shot if her level advantage is high enough, but that depends because 84 enemy HP is so damn high. She doubles, I wouldn't say reliably, but like enough to where I would say she's okay at fighting. She's very fragile, but Nosferatu helps a bit with that. If she just hits that, doesn't get one killed, she will usually heal back everything. So she can fight if needed, but obviously if she gets doubled or there's a brave weapon or a ballista, that can be an issue. So it depends, but generally I would say she's okay at fighting. It's just 5 move is tough to get to the front lines. She is much better as a sage because the promotion bonus is really good and her speed goes way up. She can use other tomes like wind. So I'm still agreeing with the 3-star rating, so I think she's alright. She's someone I feel like you should, at some point, like I think when Lana runs out of warp staff, we should sell it to her, have her do the warp spamming before she has to go away, and that way she'll be ready for promotion. I don't actually know if she should be promoted, but we can discuss that when she's about to go on vacation.
Yep, sure. Her vacation. Her lovely little vacation.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah, it'll blow your mind how good the vacation is. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We got 2 new units to talk about.
I love these so much.
So let's save the best for last. So here is Fee. Oh my god, that is an arsenal of weapons she's got carrying with her there.
How would she have room for Arthur on there?
Yeah, she could supply a small continent with arms. Holy crap, look at her. So yeah, this is Fee. And she is the daughter of Fury. Sorry, not Fury. Erinus and Noish.
Erinus.
Yeah, we let Noish be her dad because he can pass down lances. I think that was one of the primarily reasons, and he passes down.
Yeah, she's the only person who can inherit lances.
Yeah, and she also gets the critical skill, which is honestly kind of nice. It's certainly gonna help her fight a lot.
And a cost too.
But it's the Brave Lance is really the reason why we did this, because it's just such a good weapon for her to have.
Wait, hold up. You're saying we did the pairing because of that?
What, didn't we?
I mean, you can pass down the Brave Lance from Erinus to her no matter what.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, I don't know why.
We made the pairing because we wanted the strength on her, and because we wanted the skills from Noish to go onto her, and because we didn't really care about Zed, because he's good no matter what.
I think that was the reason why.
The fact that he's a physical dad doesn't affect him very much, but Fee could really use the strength. But this was a pairing where we could really have done almost any pairing, and they were both really good.
Yeah.
So we just picked like a dad that was like very high in demand, and then...
So, she's actually one of like the only kids that we have that won't have Holy Blood, because neither Erinus nor Noish have Holy Blood. So her growth rates are a little low as a result, but it doesn't really matter. She comes with 15 speed, which is more than she'll ever need to double, and she has like a pretty decent strength growth of 40%, so that's more than good enough for this game. And she's also kind of tanky too, at 50% defense, thanks to Noish, so that's kind of cool. And of course she has a lot of lances. Just overall a really good unit. She's going to be really important. It's nice to get a flyer as early as the first chapter, and you know, once she gets a few levels on her, she's going to start killing things pretty reliably with that Brave Lance. So it's very nice, you know, you can use her to visit villages that are out of the way and stuff like that. Just flyer's just very nice to have in FE4 with the huge maps, and often there's like huge mountains between you and the places you want to get to, and with a flyer you can circumvent that and go and get it. So I'm not really sure what to rate Fee. I want to give her like 4 stars at least. I don't think she's like quite a 5-star unit, but I'd say 4 out of 5 stars is probably fair for her.
Yeah, I agree with the rating. I think flyers are at the worst in FE4. I think I repeated I'm going to repeat a little bit from what I said about Erinus. So it is nice that they can traverse terrain, but usually there's a road between you and where you want to go. And she doesn't get road bonuses by going over them because she doesn't get terrain bonuses at all. Like, not the benefits, but also not the drawbacks. So that means that often, ironically enough, she'll fall behind if you just have her travel in the same direction as Seliph and friends. But she can reach places that no one else can sometimes by going across mountain ranges. So that gives her some nice utility. But I think there's less of that in this game than there is in most games. Sometimes you'll reach like a village that's far away before anyone else, and that's about it. And villages, they're important, but I'd rather honestly have road tiles than her flying mobility for the most part. But it can still be nice. The arrow weakness kind of hurts. You can negate that by like pairing Erinus with Alec, but we didn't do that, so instead we went with this. I do like Fee as a combat unit no matter what. She always has pursuit, and she always has adepts as long as she promotes. She doesn't have it before promotion, which she will afterwards. And her class is just like fantastic battle-wise. She gets, I think she always has B swords and B lances, which is just fantastic. The only way to pass down lances is through her. So she's like the way you get the Brave Lance to other people if you needed to. And just being able to use all those is really nice. Because in Gen 2, like anyone could be good as long as you have a good weapon, but she will always have access to some kind of good weapon. So that's really good. She will always be decent at combat. I like her nonetheless. I think 4 stars is a really good thing.
Yep. She also comes with a Berserk Edge, which is a funny weapon. I mean,
yeah,
I never really found a good use for it, but it's funny, I guess.
Yeah. The Thief Sword on her is nice, though, because she can fly to a village and steal 5,000 gold from a brigand.
Absolutely. And then we have Arthur.
Ah, yes, this is one of my favorites.
Arthur, yes, he has the Versetti. Look at that. Look at that. He has 31 speed as level 2 mage. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. So yeah, Arthur, we made Lewin his dad because Well,
You think? Don't need a DNA test for this one.
it's funny to get the Versetti in the first chapter. It really is. It is a fun pairing. And when Arthur also will promote to a Mage Knight, so you'll get a mounted Versetti user, which is even more hilarious. So yeah, Arthur, 110% speed growth. Have fun with that. He's definitely going to be every bit as fast as his dad was. And the magic ring for good measure, because why not, right? I don't know how we didn't get a single kill with the Versetti in the first. No, because we just spam stays on Lewin.
Yeah, I was about to mention.
But I don't think Arthur ever gets stays, so we'll actually have to fight with him. Not that that's going to be any problem.
Yeah, oh man, horror.
Oh no, yeah, the horror. Doesn't have pursuit, but pro tip, he doesn't need it. He'll just kill everything with, like, he has wrath on top of that just to add insult to injury, you know, just in case. Like, there's even an argument for not using the Versetti in the arena to save money. But yeah, no, like, what can I say about Arthur? He'll just delete anything you touch. Versetti has 30 mic. I don't think he one-shots many of the units on this map, because most units in this map, I think, have above 45 HP. So he'll need like an adept proc, I think, to kill. But that's fine. He'll kill. And once he becomes a Mage Knight, he'll most likely be one of our best combat units, for sure. I don't really know what rating to give him. Like, I don't feel like he deserves the 5-star because he does start out as an infantry unit, even though he gets a mount eventually. He's gonna get there pretty fast, but I feel like a unit such as this is like 4-star plus, but I just don't see the 5-star rating at this moment. But he will turn into a 5-star unit for sure, but right now he's a 4-star unit, so I'll rate him 4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I agree. The reason that I gave him, that I made you gave him the magic ring is so that he has a better chance of one-shotting things. 45 might not be enough to one-shot, but sometimes it is. I remember it being that sometimes, but it might depend on stat rolls on both. Well, mostly on him, because enemies don't have stat rolls. But you're right, he doesn't always one-shot things. He would need to pursue ring for a guaranteed one-round kill. Or you could just get him down to Wrath HP and then put him like in the forest. He won't get hit and he'll just kill everything anyway. There's a lot of ways to make him kill stuff if you really need him, but needs a little bit of messing around to do that. You can still do fine with like the other tones if you need him to, but obviously he'll do much worse. Versetti is really the main reason to make this pairing. It'll take a while to get him promoted because he's only level 2, and he's not just infantry, he's 5 move. 5 move is freaking awful, but
it's
once he's
bad.
a Mage Knight, he'll be much better. Yeah, it's really awful. That's why I'm a fan of either sending him like south from here or to Johalvier's army to get him a lot of kills, because he starts off kind of isolated. There's like 3 enemies in his vicinity and that's it. So if you don't give him like any of that favoritism, it'll be a while before he promotes. But once he promotes, then yeah, he's a god. I like to give him the pursuit ring, but I realize that's overkill to a lot of people.
Yeah,
putting him in Wrath can also work. He's one of my favorites. I love his fucking hair. His hair is so cool.
It's a cool hair.
This is by far one of my favorite kids. I like 4 stars. Yeah.
Alright, so say hello to Johalvier, son of Danon and some girl. So Johalvier is the Near guy. He comes with minor Near Holy Blood. We'll talk about Johan too, don't worry. I'll show his stats and everything. So yeah, Johalvier, he's a fighter. He's not very good. he's not technically a child character. He's like set. There's nothing you can do to like influence Johalvier. I think if you didn't pass the Paragon ring down, I think he comes with it and drops it.
You are correct, I believe, but I'll double check it.
That's like the one thing I think will change depending on what you do. So yeah, he has a cost. That's his only skill. He has a lot of strength though. So if you can get in the Brave Axe, that is, I think he's strong enough to like one-round certain enemies with the Brave Axe. And he's not too terrible in the arena. Some people advocate giving him the Pursuit Ring. I don't really agree with that. I mean, he does actually have a pretty high speed stack. Like 16 base speed is very high. The problem is axes weigh a shit ton. So, and the Brave Axe is actually a little lighter, I think, so...
It's 12.
Yeah. He does actually have a pretty good speed growth, though. And his stats are better than Johan, but then again, he's also 1 foot. So, I'd say he's probably one of the weaker units of the 2nd generation. Like, I know people like to make him good by, like, giving him a lot of rings and like, the Hero Axe, but I never really think he amounts to much. I did say this earlier, though, like, one good thing about Johalvier is that if there's, like, a particularly nasty enemy in the arena, like, after he promotes that he can't beat, he can swap around to a bow and go for the ranged enemy instead, which actually sometimes might be better for him. I know I've done that a couple of times when I'm stuck on a certain arena fight. But that's not really, like, a huge advantage in his favor. It's just a nice little trick you can do since he can fight both gauntlets. Having access to bows post-promotion does make him able to, like, snipe some wyverns out of the sky, but because he doesn't have Kanto like the Master Knight, he can't change back to his axe after he does so he becomes kind of like a sitting duck. But yeah, I think I'm going to rate Johalvier 2 stars. I was almost like borderlining rating him 1 star, but I think that's a little harsh because he can do some things. But he's certainly not a fantastic unit. But we picked him over Johan because he's going to be a little easier to fight within the arena.
Basically. Real quick correction, I just checked on Seren's Force, and according to them, Johalvier has a massive 10% speed growth, and Johan is the one with 50%.
Right. I got them mixed up. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Johalvier doesn't have a speed growth. Johan has a big speed growth.
Yeah. Johalvier has 50% skill growth, whereas Johan only has 20%. But generally with these units, you kind of want to go by their bases more so than their growths, because they aren't really going to go anywhere anyway. They're already level 12. They're already pretty high level, so they're not going to get a whole lot more than what they currently have. So generally what you see is what you get until promotion. I agree with most of what you said otherwise, though. Johalvier isn't very good. Anytime you could trade a mount for not insignificant amount of stats, but like not so much that they're like broken by it, I would take the mount any day over this when it comes to like fighting. But the thing is, they're both so bad in combat generally, not like right now, but later on, that it honestly doesn't even really matter. You generally just don't even want them to fight very much because they're so annoying to use. Like the thing is, like, sure, at first they will 2-hit KO some enemies with the hero axe when they get it, which we're going to get from the boss later on in this chapter, and they can buy it, and that's all fine and good. They can kill like the dark mages next chapter in 1 round. It's pretty nice. They can kill other mages, some other like infantry units. I think they're like borderline almost cavalry. They definitely don't 2-hit KO armored enemies and bosses, so they're pretty terrible against those. Their hit rates are kind of suffery. Like this guy has 84 hit with the steel axe before enemy avoid. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I think the hero axe might like do him a little favor, but overall he's just not very good. So I agree with the rating of 2 stars for this guy, and honestly, Johan isn't a whole lot better.
No. Speaking of Johan, I'm going to show his stats on screen just in case you want to know. So,
wow, they're so cool. Sign is such a good designer.
Yeah, right? So in like a normal run, like if we're not doing ranked, I would probably go with Johan over Johalvier, just because he has a mount. That's pretty much the only advantage he has over. He has a cost instead of vantage, not really. Sorry, it's vantage instead of a cost, which, you know, I'd say a cost is probably a better skill. Fun fact about vantage that I didn't really know this, but it cancels other units a cost. This is something I was not aware of. Did you know that?
The vantage cancels a cost?
Yeah, if you have vantage and you face someone with a cost, vantage cancels out a cost.
Okay, that's cool. But if you're using vantage, you're fighting, you're probably about to die. So
yeah. No, I don't know how many bosses you face in the second generation with a cost. I think Julius has it.
You actually do, yeah.
Would you ever fight Julius?
Yeah,
with Johan?
I was gonna say this is a real niche right there. Being able to fight Julius, yeah.
I think there are some other bosses that comes with a cost. I don't know. I just learned that. It was fun.
I have a feeling most of them have swords too.
Yeah, I never knew this, but yeah, no. Johan, as Mecha said, he has a higher speed growth than Johalvier, but he doesn't have pursuit. So like, what does it matter? Could give him the pursuit ring, I guess, if you really want to make him work. But I don't. The axes are gonna weigh him down so much. He'll still double a lot of the slow enemies, but I just don't really see that as a big deal. So I rate Johan. I want to rate him 3 stars because he has a mount, but then I'm very torn. Like, I think it's between 2 and 3 stars. I think I'm just gonna settle on 3 stars for him because a mount is good. So you might be like, why are we getting a 2-star unit over a 3-star unit? Well, for the purposes of this ranked run, a guy that can fight in the arena is more valuable than a bad guy on a horse. But I'll still rate Johan 3 stars because horse is good.
Fair enough. I'm just double checking something because we talked about the speed growth, but Johalvier is like the better base by 4, so it would take 10 levels before the growth catches up. So just checking their promotion bonus. So Axe Knight to Great Knight, so Johan gets +1 speed on promotion. I'm trying to find Fighter, Axe Fighter. There we go. It gets +2 speed on promotion.
So maybe Johalvier is just faster than you.
Yeah, I would say generally Johalvier is going to be faster for.
It's Barcher versus Dorcas all over again.
Yeah, kind of like that. They do that a lot with fighters, apparently. It's no different here. Yeah, as I've said before, I really don't like Johan's combat. I think he performs very subpar beyond like Chapter 6, Chapter 7. And even in those, you can clearly already see the flaws. Like, one thing we didn't really tackle like about these units before is because axes are so heavy, they will never have any avoid to speak of and no weapon triangle manipulation. So they're really sitting duck, especially against magic enemies. They just die in 2 hits to them almost always. And there's... Like, late game FE4 has so many magic enemies, you can't really run around with, like, low resistance and low avoid like that. It just doesn't work.
And low accuracy.
Yeah, and they have, like, no range weapons, really. Like, the hand axe is a complete joke.
It's so bad. It's so bad. They throw it once.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, even if they could double, they probably wouldn't with the hand axe. That's kind of what, like, one thing that Johalvier can do is, I think after promotion, you can use the Brave Bow, actually, which is probably his best weapon.
Yes.
I'm going to double check before I talk out of my butt. Weapon ranks. I'm pretty sure he has B bow, so that gives him the killer bow, but it doesn't really work when you don't double. But the Brave bow is pretty fine. or your... Yeah, that's Bebo, so that's pretty cool. So, yeah, Johalvier can hold his own in the arena and do like some miscellaneous fights in somewhere. Johan, I don't really have much of a use for him, really. Like, he has a mount, but that's it. It's like a mounted piece of shit. Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, I still give Johan 2 stars out of 5, both in the same rating for the reasons I stated earlier. I don't think the mount... It makes him technically better, but you really don't want to use either of them in combat.
I think I may have a bit of a skewed perception of him because I did a substitute run, and when you do a substitute run, Johan and Johalvier are a little bit more on par with your other guys, and I gave like Johan a Brave Axe, and I found some use for him. Like because when you do substitutes, you really need every bit of fighting power you can get, and having Johan be able to run in with this Brave Axe definitely saved me more than once. But in this regard, yeah, no, they're not great. Yeah, so let's talk about Leif, shall we? He is the child of Quan and Etlin. He is a child unit, although you cannot influence his pairing, but you can influence what items you pass down to him. And in this case, he takes over all of Etlin's gear. We put a lot of stuff on him. I think Leif was kind of just like we just dumped a lot of stuff on Etlin that we didn't need.
Yeah, stuff that was like worth money, but we didn't really need to have between chapters 4 and 5.
Yeah, we were going to pass down the pursuit ring to him. That was always the plan, but then we realized we kind of wanted it because since Etlin leaves at the end of chapter 3, that means that's 2 chapters we get without the pursuit ban, and we wanted the pursuit ban. So we were like, okay, we're just going to let Leif take a little hits because of course Leif doesn't have a pursuit inherently, which is one of his big weaknesses. So that's kind of why we did that. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Leif as a unit. So Leif starts off really, really weak. His bases are not fantastic. And again, lack of pursuit makes him just... it really makes him kind of hard to level up. Though, if you notice, his base stats are kind of high because we did cap out Etlin and we came close to capping up Quan. So he's gotten a little bit, he's gotten a few extra points of base stats from his parents, which is nice. This Leif is actually on the stronger scale compared to his averages, so that's nice to see. However, his growth rates are ridiculous. He has minor Nova Holy Blood, he has minor Boulder Holy Blood, and he will grow really, really quickly. If you can get Paragon on him, you can get him up, then he becomes extremely good. And of course, he does promote to Master Knight, one of the best classes in the game. So once that happens, Leif I think will be one of your strongest fighters. And that's a pretty hard title to contend with, considering, you know, there's major Holy Blood kits running around, but Leif can definitely outmatch them. He can do the cool thing where he attacks with a bow and then counters back and equips a melee weapon. It's really strong. He can practically use every weapon in the game, I think, aside from like a few light tomes and dark magic. But no one can use dark magic in this game, so that doesn't really matter. The difficult part is getting Leif there. He will need some help going through the arena. Not knowing pursuit means he won't attack as many times. He does come with crit, and he does have adept like his father, but adept isn't super reliable. But what we're probably going to do is we're just going to just let him borrow the Brave Sword with crit on it, and just have him use that to clear the gauntlet. Now, raiding Leif is tricky, I think. It's very tricky, because he does start out incredibly weak, and then he becomes incredibly strong. So how do we rate a character like that? I don't think rating him 3 stars is fair, because, you know, he gets a mount eventually and becomes really good, but he's not really a 5-star unit either. But at the same time, I also feel like 4 stars is a little too high for him, but I think that's the rating I'm going to settle on. I think he's a 4-star unit, because he does wreck house after he becomes a Master Knight, and there is some merit to that. So, again, the tricky part is just getting him there.
Yeah, I was actually torn between 4 and 5 stars for Leif, so I'm surprised you consider 3 stars. You say he's very weak at base, and the lack of pursuit really hurts, not gonna lie. It kind of sucks raising him, but if you look at his bases, they're not actually all that bad. I think his strength is high enough to 2-hit KO most generic enemies, like the Steel Blade or whatever, which is not, you know, the weapon in high demand or anything. It's pretty easy to get a strong sword for him on him. But like Leif's utility depends so much on like item and weapon inheritance. If you can sell him, if you can give him like the pursuit ring or something expensive like the bargain ring, he will have a pretty easy time getting Paragon, and it is possible to promote him by the next chapter, but that is like the ultimate amount of investment. That's what low turn count players do, because Leif, after he promotes, becomes your only A-rank staff user that has a mount.
Oh, right. I didn't even know that. This is funny.
Like, even Pegasus Knights, they promoted Falcon Knights, they get B-rank staves, and Nanna, for example, Troubadours, they get the C-rank staves, unless they have like minor Edda Holy Blood.
What if you pair Rokuses up with Claude? Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that is the one way you could do it, I guess. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much just gonna be Leif. And like A-rank staves is important for low turn count runs and speed runs and stuff, because A-rank means you can use the rescue staff, which you can also pass down if you pair Lana with Claude. or maybe Azel with Ideen, and then you do something weird with... Yeah, they have to give the Seti that way, so it's a little less relevant. But I think on average, most players should try to promote him by chapter 9 at the latest, and preferably chapter like 8 in the middle somewhere. But I can understand why it takes a while. It took me a while in my first playthrough, because it really is tricky raising him up. But as I said, his strength is good. He will sometimes unexpectedly one-run things with adepts or critical, but obviously we just want to give him a good sword and like have him clear the arena for sure. If you can, the sooner you can give him the Paragon ring, the better off you are with Leif in general. He's by far the best investment of your resources, but it does take a little bit to get him going. If you can just get Pursuit, he's just a really good foot unit, honestly. I think he's still like better than Larcei and Ulster, because, you know, he's still fast enough to double. He has insane strength, and his HP growth is so high. He'll get +2 HP a lot. He'll be very bulky. Kind of the same as like Ulster and Larcei, but better in my opinion. I'll give him 4 stars because of rating. Like, it does take some resources, but I think it's really good. And he's one of my favorites. I can't not rate him higher than 3. I cannot rate him lower than 4 stars. I love this guy so much.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's take a look at his, well, I almost said his sister, but that's not accurate. I don't know, I feel like they're kind of like siblings in a way, but she's also his love interest. I don't really know what.
They're like adoptive siblings, but not in the Fates way, in my opinion.
Yeah. So here is Nanna. She is the daughter of Rocasus, or Lacasus, I don't know what we call her. I think it was Rocasus in this translation, that's what I'm gonna say. And Beowulf. Of course, we paired Rocasus up with Beowulf because it is by far the best pairing for Dermontt. But, you know, Nanna, it's not like she doesn't benefit from it either. I mean, she gets Pursuit, which is nice. She also gets an insane strength growth, so that's kind of cool. We passed on a lot of items on her: the Earth Sword, the Miracle Sword. She has the Men's Staff, Heal and Return Staff, which is nice. We forgot to repair it to full, but that's fine. And the Return Band. Not really sure why we put the Return Band on her. It allows her to immediately return to the castle, but I think we want to keep her around.
Yeah, there's 2 ways we can approach the chapter. Either they just yeet themselves to the home castle, where they have access to more XP, but it's XP that others could have gotten as well, like all the Dark Mages, but it's technically more for Leif. Yes. But since we're going to keep Paragon on Seliph for a little longer or something, or like maybe not, but either way, since Seliph is not promoted yet, I don't think there's much of a point to that. We could just keep him in this area and do the traditional thing where we feed Leif kills. The reason I like the Earth Sword on her, though, is because she can heal the other 2, but she can't heal herself. So this is a good way to get like some health.
That is very, very true.
And that same goes for the Return Band. She has to return Staff to like return the others to the castle, but we also want her to get out of there. She cannot like defend Leinster on her own, so that's why Return Band is nice on her.
So with Beowulf as her father, Nanna's actually not bad in combat. She has a 70% strength growth, so her strength will actually take off. Although with Nanna, most of her experience is going to come from staves. We won't actually attack all that much with her, but it is nice to get her through the arena. And I think with this parent, she will actually clear the arena pretty reliably. I think if we can give her, because I'm pretty sure she can use the she has A rank in swords thanks to her Azul blood, so she can get that she can get the Brave Sword that Seliph uses. Just give her that, she'll just blast her way through the arena and shouldn't be a problem at all. So she'll get a little bit of experience money that way, and then she'll just use staves to level up the other way. She promotes to Paladin, and that gives her some additional bulk, and she actually becomes a decent combat unit. But because she is a mounted staff user, I don't think you'll be seeing Nanna doing a whole lot of combat in this playthrough, except for the arena. She's mostly just going to be running around healing people. But, you know, she does that really well, and a mounted healer is definitely good. I rate her 4 out of 5 stars. Really useful unit.
For sure. I like mounted return utility, especially personally, because there's a lot of times where you want to warp people between castles, and the more mobile your turn user, the more options you have in that regard. I will say about Nanna is her bases are absolute trash, and this is mostly because of the Troubadour class. That doesn't really have very high class bases, and those are like the foundation that FE4 bases are built upon. It's your class bases, and then on top of that, you get like your parents' additions to their class bases. So, for example, the fact that her mom was Lacus's, you know, the Master Knight with those insane stats, those were mostly coming from her class bases as a Master Knight. So as a result, she doesn't actually pass down that many stats. If you don't remember, Lacus's doesn't actually have very good growth rates.
No.
And also, real quick, like clarification, she can't use the Brave Sword because of like B Sword's minimum. She would have that even without the Hizul blood. I think almost anyone can use the Brave Sword except noobs like Paddy. But yeah, most people can use the Brave Sword in Gen 2 because almost everyone has some kind of class that can use it. You know, Hell's Blood lets her use like Blade and stuff if you really need her to, but her accuracy is so shit, I would not recommend it. She actually misses with the Earth Sword a lot, I've found. But the Miracle Sword is pretty nice on her. She's female, so she's one of the few people who can use it. Also, her portrait in FE5 is infinitely prettier.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm going to give her 4 stars.
Oh, wow. Shit. This is the mecha out here. Alright, and then we have Finn, of course. So Finn, here he is. We already talked about him, and we'll show him again with his new stats. This is how we left him in the first generation. We opted not to promote Finn because we figured that it's a lot easier to just get him the final levels he needs in the second generation, where experience is more plentiful. Generation 1 is a lot more stingy and it's with its experience, and there's characters like Quan who takes up a lot of the action because we need to get them capped out before they leave. So we held Finn a lot back, even though he is pretty good in the first generation. And we also opted to pass his Brave Lance down to Fee, I think. Oh, no, what did
Yes.
Yes, we did. So
The only reason we did that is because he's the only child who can inherit the Brave Lance.
no, yes. I was just about to say he's not Fee's dad, but we did pass down the Brave Lance by giving Finn's Brave Lance to Noish. That's what we did. I don't think we paired... Finn's not the dad of anyone in this playthrough, is he?
No, I don't believe we paired him, which is good, because if you do pair him, then all he's left with is his Iron Lance, which is kind of annoying.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, he's level 18, but I think our Finn got really blessed. Looking at his stats right now, they're pretty good for a level 18 Finn.
I mean, Finn just has really good stats. Also, real quick before I forget, we gave the Brave Lance to Aranus, not Noish.
Yes, right. Yeah, thanks for clearing up that. But yeah, I mean, we're going to promote him soon enough, and he's going to be a staple unit throughout the second generation. Finn is really good. 4 out of 5 stars. Good stats, good utility, tanky. He just has everything. He's really good. Despite having no Holy Blood, he's on par with the rest of the units.
Yeah, I think Finn is, like, especially Gen 2 Finn is home to a lot of misconceptions about like how viable of a unit he is and how important he is. A lot of people think you should promote him just for the part he's in right now, where you have to defend Leif and Nanna. But I think with proper positioning, almost any leveled Finn, like sure, base level Finn is like a little bit more annoying to use, but he doesn't need to be promoted for this part at all. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to fend off enemies and feed plenty of them to Leif without Finn being promoted at all. A lot of people also feel like you should leave the Hero Lance on him for that reason. Again, I don't think that's necessary at all. Although people also think that Finn is very shitty in this generation after this chapter, even like because in like Generation 1 he's like really good with the Brave Lance, and this generation like a lot of better people around. There's some things that really hurt him. The fact that he cannot use swords means he's always being weighed down by at least 12, more if you use him like a javelin. Like being locked to lances can kind of hurt a character sometimes. But his attack is pretty high. He does still have Miracle setup, so he will always clear the arena if you want him to. You can always make some kind of invincible setup. But without the Brave Lance, he won't be doubling as much. Gen 2 enemies are generally a little bit stronger. That can be annoying, but Finn can still like hold his own generally. And the fact that he doesn't need experience to get somewhere is also worth something. I think Falcoma's LTC run, like I've been plugging it a lot, but it uses Finn a lot and shows just how good he is, even with you know, the fact that he doesn't level up at all.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive when you think about it. I don't actually remember how much he was used. He was definitely not used as much as Oifey was, but he's surprisingly useful, I think. So I would say Finn, I think overall for the whole game, I would still give him 4 stars for performance, but I think in Generation 2 he's closer to 3 stars. But overall, I would still say the character's still worth 4 stars.
Yep. So yeah.
Nice.
Shanan just unlocked his true power.
Yeah, I think I don't think you can hit him anymore. I think he's good now.
He's pretty good now, yeah.
You can solo the game now. We're done here.
So this is the Balmung. It's pretty crazy. Gives 20 speed, 10 skill. It's kind of similar to the Facetta in a way, except that it's a sword. So
It's the exact same bonuses, yeah.
but it's not 2 range, so it's worse. But it's physical, I guess. So yeah, here's Shanan. Now, you may look at Shanan, and you may think, what the fuck? What's going on here? Like, what is the...
What's the catch?
What is the deal with this guy? Why is he so ridiculously buff? So I think this is just part of, you know, some of Kaga's design philosophy that, you know, you should get a unit that can kill everything just in case you fuck up. Like in the first chapter, you got Oifey, and you know, in case Oifey is not cutting it anymore, or maybe if you killed him, if you're bad, I don't know.
Fell off one chapter.
You get Shanan as like an I win button. Like if you need to kill a dangerous boss like Ishtar or Bloom or Ishtar, Shanan's there to just delete any unit you throw him at. There is no catch. I mean, yeah, I guess he doesn't have a mount and he doesn't have true range, but he will pretty much dodge anything, and he will also kill anything that he goes up against, except maybe like some of the few final last bosses. And in addition to that, his growth rates aren't even all that bad because he comes with Major Odo Blood, so he will, not that he needs to grow a single point. I think Shanan at base can completely hold his own throughout the entire game. I don't think he needs a single level up. But, you know, if you want to train him, you can. And of course we have to, because it's a ranked run. It's fun to send him through the arena, honestly. Just watch him, like, just one-shot enemies.
even without the Balmung.
He doesn't need the Balmung, honestly. You can just get, like, with the Steel Blade, he can clear the gauntlet just fine. But, I mean, I don't know if Shanan, like, I guess we want to pair him up with Paddy so that he can give her money, so we do want to hold back the money a little bit. I don't know if he needs the Paragon Ring. He might. But,
You should probably get it a couple times. He's not, like, that high level. He's only level 12.
he is only level 12, so he's actually lower level than Oifey, but his stats are, like, way better. So, yeah, no, he's pretty fucking busted. So, you know, like, pure combat-wise, I'd probably rate Shanan, like, 5 stars, but because he lacks a mount and he joins a little later, then I think 4 stars is a fair rating for him, but he is way better in combat than any of our other 4-star units. It's a bit of a deceptive rating, but yeah, no, he's really good.
Yeah, I absolutely love this guy. He can finish final chapter enemies with his Balmung alone and no growth at all. I want to address something really funny. So there is a glitch in this game where if you pair Holden with Ira, and then their kids have major Odo blood, just like Shanan, and they can theoretically, if they were able to attain it, they can use the Balmung. Now, there's a glitch where you can revive Shanan. Like, if you get him killed and you revive him and you do some other weird button presses, you can get the Balmung on them. And a lot of people, especially Larcei fans, they like to do that because they love Larcei. And they will bring it up as an argument as to why Larcei is better than Shanan. Or they will do the other amazing thing, and they will convince themselves that because Shanan relies on the Balmung, he is worse than Larcei because Larcei doesn't need the Balmung to be good. But let me tell you, Shanan has the Balmung, and he's really good with it. Even if he didn't have it, his stats were still good, but he has the Balmung. You can't just like wave it away or use a glitch to say he doesn't have it.
That's like saying Marcus wouldn't be good without his base stats.
Yeah, it's like this unit would be good without X or without X or Y. It really doesn't matter. The point is he has it. It's super good. He doubles everything. He has Pursuit. He has Adept. He has 30 Might on his weapon. He has a good base strength of 18. He 2-KOs everything and doubles, and he has 2 chances at Adept, which he has like it's like a 60% chance to proc or something. It's insane how many times this guy attacks. He has Astra too. So that's like another 32% chance to attack again. He's insanely good. The one weakness he has, I think, is that his HP base is not that high, so someone like Bloom, who appears in this chapter, or like the Thor Hammer, whenever it appears, it just one-shots him.
Yeah. So
he can't really fight holy weapons users that well. He doesn't do very well against like the Gungnir users either. Like, that's all a bit of a problem for him, but against generic enemies, he is a boss. And I think Kaga does this mostly to just, it's like a story gameplay integration thing where the legendary weapons, the holy weapons, they turn you into a superhuman, and he really wants to reflect that into gameplay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like a real actual gameplay itself purpose behind it, but hey, it doesn't break the game that badly considering all the tools we already have available. We already have Forseti, we already have Seliph, we already have Julia, who's also pretty damn good, for example, so I don't really mind it very much. Plus, you know, the idea behind FE4 ranked is that you use everyone anyway, so you can't just beat it with Shanan if you want to get into ranked, so 4 stars is fair.
Yeah.
4 stars is good, I think. I would give him 5 stars for combat alone, like you said. But he does need a movement boost sometimes.
I do actually hope that when they get around to remaking this game, that they won't nerf the holy weapons. That would be sad.
Yeah, that... Well,
they probably will.
Yeah, and I wouldn't completely blame them for it, but I will miss it.
So yeah, let's talk about Paddy. Don't really know why people are so excited about this girl. But yeah, here's Paddy.
She's blonde.
Yeah, I get she is, but yeah, you're right. I forgot.
I think she's also really young.
Yeah, I think that's probably why. So this is where our light brand ended up. This is the light brand that usually goes to Leif, but we put it on Paddy. So we could have gotten the Wind Sword in the first generation undo. We opted not to because it's so far out of Du's path, and we wanted Du to do other things for that map. In particular, he needed to steal gold from the pirates. There's like a bunch of pirates that spawn in chapter 3 with like 5,000 gold each, and we really wanted that money. So we made a choice. We decided to forego the Wind Sword because it's not really that good. Now, would it be nice to have the Wind Sword on Paddy and like the light brand on Leif? Sure, it would have been nice, but it wouldn't have been worth all the turns we had to waste to get it. And we wanted to keep Du next to Bridget too, to build love points, because that is a pairing that we really know. It's a very slow pairing. So now she has the light brand, and that's good because she needs that 1-2 range to steal from a distance. So we also gave her the pursuit band because now she can pursue. This is not a skill she gets normally unless you pass it down to via one of her parents. So yeah, let's talk about Paddy. So Paddy, she is the daughter of Du and Bridget. And thanks to Do, she comes with Pursuit. Sorry, not Pursuit. She comes with Soul, which is not going to be super useful. But she goes with Bargain, which is nice. It means she can get the Paragon ring easier than others and then sell it back without losing any money. Do does give her, like, decent-ish growth rates, but her bases are still pretty shit. She's nowhere near as terrible as her substitute Daisy. But that's like, you know, that doesn't really say anything. She's still really bad. She's going to be one of the units that we're going to struggle the most leveling up, I think, in the second generation. Her base strength is just really shit. She does come with a Sleep Edge, which she can use in the arena. Like, if she hits, there's a small chance she can put her arena opponent to sleep, which allows her to actually win the fight. Although it might take her a while, because the Sleep Edge doesn't have the best of stats. But she is still going to be a very useful unit, because of course, just like Do, she's going to be used to steal gold. And she's going to give that gold away to other people and give them experience. And so, I mean, we rated Do 5 stars, or you rated Do 5 stars in the first generation.
I did.
So that makes me think that, you know, we should probably rate Patty 5 stars in this generation.
I mean, you're free to do your own ratings, but I mean, in hindsight, you can probably see how much use we got out of Do.
I agree, but I agree with it. I agree with your rating of 5 stars. So I'm going to give Patty 5 stars for the sole logic of, you know, Do was a 5-star unit, and so Patty is Do, basically. She's like a better Do in many ways. So yeah, I'm gonna rate Patty 5 out of 5 stars because gold equals experience, and she can basically give experience to other units, and that is insanely good. So yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass leveling her up, but you know, aside from that, she's gonna be a very useful unit.
Looks like you figure out why people are so excited for her. They want the gold.
Yeah,
they're just really excited to just get gold on her other units. It's just the simple way it's gonna work. Yeah, it's very shitty combat unit. With Light Breath, lets her steal at range, which is very necessary because her durability is absolute crap. And even her speed isn't really as high as you would want on a thief, right? I mean, you don't need speed to steal in this game, but she might die just due to sheer lack of speed sometimes, which is stupid to think about. But thief class bases are just that bad. The strength especially hurts her. She's not going to do a whole lot more damage with, hitting at close range with sword compared to like the Light Brand. So having one magic doesn't really hurt very much. And once she's done with the Light Brand and the Pursuit Band, she can just sell those and give more money away. So it's going to be nice too. Sleep Edge lets her tease the arena kind of nicely. Just keep trying until she gets it. It would be nice if she's faster than the opponent, because then she can get a hit in before she's killed. But it's pretty heavy, so that's going to be kind of difficult sometimes. She does get Pursuit after she promotes, so at that point she can become a sort of competent fighter. I think the promotion bonuses are pretty alright too. I remember Do becoming sort of competent when promoted, so that is something to look forward to. She also gets like an extra point of movement, I think, at that point. It's also kind of nice. But yeah, Thief in a ranked run, I will give it 5 stars every single time. 5 stars. If it was like not a ranked run, I'd probably go to like 4 still. Like, it's still nice to give gold away to someone like take Leif. He really needs the Paragon Band, but doesn't have the gold for it, even though we gave him a bunch of shit. So Patty is going to be partially responsible probably for promoting someone at Leif, whereas before he wouldn't have promoted until like chapter 9. So that alone is like worth it. It's very weird how it works, but it's really good. 5 stars.
Here's a question. If we did a substitute run, would you rank Daisy 5 stars?
Yeah, if it was a substitute ranked run, I probably would, because it's really just about the gold giving rather than the combat. Like, their combat, to me, it's annoying, but you don't really have to deal with it as long as you're just stealing stuff. Like, the gold stealing is so important that you do whatever it takes to get around their bad combat.
So a lot of people have wanted us to rank the substitutes, and the reason why I'm not going to do that is because, first of all, we're already spending way too much time ranking the units as it is. But the other reason is the substitutes are just like worse bursts and stuff their original selves. Like there are a couple of substitutes, like the Freech kids act a little differently to their originals.
Yeah, well, Amit is just worse.
Yeah, but in most cases, like Nanna substitute Jan is just a worse Nanna with no inheritance. Everything we say about Nanna also applies to Jan, except that she doesn't have the skills or the items or the stats. It's just Nanna minus, basically.
Yeah.
Right, so we got a new ally.
Ares.
So hello to Ares. Ares. I don't know how you pronounce this guy. Guess who this is the son of?
I don't know, man. Could it be this guy or could it be this lady?
I don't know. So he comes with the Misselton. He's Eldigan's son. I don't know how he got it. I guess he just took it or something. But he has it. And yeah, he's pretty freaking good. So again, Ares, he's not really a child unit. Kind of like Julia, he just joins with the same stats. You can't really influence what are you doing?
I typed something. Hold up.
Oh.
Keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
Go on.
I just got distracted by that. So Aris, kind of like Julia, he's not really a child unit. Like, he is Eldigan's son, and his stats do reflect this, but you can't really influence how he turns out in any way. Aris is ridiculously good. He comes with the Mistletoe. The Mistletoe is crazy. It has 30 might. It has very low weight. And it grants him 20 skill, 10 rest, and the critical skill. So he's going to be critting a lot with this thing. He's practically going to delete anything you throw him up against. I like to call him like Shanan on a horse, because he works much the same way, except he has better mobility. Really, really impressive unit. He comes with a great set of skills, Pursuit, Adept, and a cost, so he'll attack a lot of times. Now, what I like about Aris is that his Mistletoe really plugs up his weaknesses. Like, if there's one thing Aris doesn't have a lot of, like, his resistance is kind of bad. He also doesn't have a very high speed growth. He does have a nice speed base, though, and with swords, he's going to double most enemies. But when he goes up against really fast enemies, you know, he might not always double naturally when he goes up against, like, certain Holy Blood usage and stuff like that, but the Mistletoe will hit so fucking hard anyway that he'll most likely kill them with a crit. And even if he doesn't crit, like, he usually gets extra attacks thanks to his adept on a cost, so he'll crit again. So I think Aris is one of those guys who can very reliably take out units like Ishtar. He can even, like, kill Julius in Chapter 10. Just a really fucking solid unit. He starts at a level 7 Cavalier with those bases. His growth rates aren't actually the best. He only really has a very high strength growth because of his major Hasul blood, but his other growth rates aren't that great. But it's not like he needs it, because thanks to his high skill, he hits and crits everything, and thanks to the plus 10 rest boost from the Mistletoe, he also takes magic fairly well, so that's kind of nice about him. I'm actually gonna rate Aris like 5 out of 5 stars, because I think he's a really, really strong unit. He doesn't need much work to get good. He'll kill pretty much anything you throw him up against, and once he becomes a paladin, he gets even more mobility, and he just kills even more guys. It's really crazy. Really like this guy.
Yeah, Aris is ridiculously strong against generic enemies. Absolutely fantastic for all the reasons you stated. Like, the one kind of weakness I could find in Aris, if I was like nitpicking him, would be that his speed isn't high enough to double most like super strong enemies, like holy weapon users or something. Like, for most units he's fine, right? But you usually use units like this to beat other holy weapon users. So for example, against say someone with the Thor hammer, he's probably not going to double, and he could even die if his HP is low enough, depending on like circumstances. I think he doesn't survive 2 Thor hammers until later in the game, and I think his resistance growth is kind of crap, so that can give him trouble a little bit. I like that his accuracy is ridiculously high because of the 20 plus skill, and a pretty high hit rate on the Mistletoe. That is really nice. There's something else that annoyed me about Aris sometimes. I think it's the fact that like his holy weapon doesn't increase his durability very much when it comes to like the physical side, and like the res bonus is kind of small. So he can die sometimes in those really tough fights, but generally, like, I'm nitpicking. Everything Mang said was true. He kills almost everything. But it's just sometimes I notice that he's like not as well off as someone like Seliph, for example, with the turfing, or even Shanan sometimes, depending on the things. But again, Shanan gets one killed sometimes, so it depends on the circumstance. Generally, Aris kill stuff good, perfect unit, 5 stars, mounted, everything, great. Also doesn't have 1 to rage, I guess, is another thing. So yeah,
you
5
could pick
stars.
up a javelin, but he doesn't get this insane bonuses.
Yeah, he's almost better off with like a flame sword, which is laughable because his strength is so much better than his magic. But yeah. But sometimes it works with javelin, but generally it won't.
Here's Tinni. So she is the daughter of Luan and Tiltiu. She's pretty good. I mean, like, there are better pairings for Tinni, I think. There's pairings where she gets Pursuit. She won't have Pursuit, but as long as she'll need it, it would be nice to have Pursuit. I think Wrath critical is funny overkill. So we passed on the barrier ring. I don't exactly remember why. I think it's just to give her some cash. So yeah, Tinni, she has minor Torta Blood, minor Forseti Blood. Sadly, can't use that Torn Tome. She has B rank in Thunder, which is not enough. So yeah, I mean, I think we initially wanted to make Lex her father because we want to give her Paragon. The 11 pairing was, I think, more for Arthur than for Tinni. Doesn't give her Pursuit, doesn't give her Paragon, doesn't give her a lot of the skills she needs, but thanks to Wrath, she can still sort of win the arena. I think there's maybe a few enemies she might struggle a little bit with, because the Thunder has 14 might, which is nice. She does have like a decent magic growth, but she does have a lot of speed. Sadly, the speed doesn't really help her all that much. She does come with that up, so it helps her a little bit, but not as much. She's not as fast as Arthur. She'll never be as fast as Arthur. But she promotes to, I think, War Mage, which gets swords and staves and magic, which is not great. I mean, Arthur gets a mount. She does doesn't. But yeah, I don't really know what to rate Tinni. I'm a little bit undecided. I think probably 3 stars. She is a footlocked infantry unit. Her promotion doesn't really allow her to do that much aside from just heal a little bit. It'll make the last 10 levels pretty easy though. But it's gonna be a bit of a hassle to get her up to promotion, I think. I think even with Wrath, she's going to struggle a little bit in the arena, because we'll have to rely on like a Wrath adept to kill, which isn't that unlikely, but still. She does have a good speed growth. Her 11 base speed is gonna make it a little bit hard for her to kill like some of the faster enemies in the early arenas, like the Myrmidons and stuff like that. But we'll find a way to do it, I suppose.
So you're going with 3 stars then?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Tinni as like a combat unit on the field is pretty much worthless almost, because, well, she has 5 move. It's bad.
Yeah.
5 move is just not enough to participate in like any frontline combat, and defenses are too weak to frontline anyway, so you don't really want her in front anyway. So it's just like a chip bot. But I mean, if you wanted to kill something with Wrath, you definitely can. It can work if you wanted to, so it's not too hard to feed her kills close to the home castle. But the sooner, you know, the further you move away from the home base, the further to catch up. It's really not worth it. But for a ranked run, I think she's pretty self-sufficient overall, much more so than Siltu, who needs a ton of help. But I think you're like selling her short in the arena. I think between like if all you need is an adepts with Wrath to kill, then you just spam until she wins. It's pretty easy to do. And with Elwind, with only 2 weight and a pretty high speed boost, you will attack first most of the time. And if not, you can just wait until the enemy misses or something. I think she'll have no trouble clearing the arena every single time, thanks to Wrath and being at 1 HP. I think that won't be an issue. And I think there's also no hurry in promoting her as long as she's like level 20 before you don't have enough time to like warp spam anymore. Because once she's level 20, she will just stay in the base and use warp or mend or something, or return, and at some point she will be able to get there. Because I'm pretty sure she gets B rank stabs for warp, but if not, she can just use return and C, which will be fine. I don't think she's going to do a whole lot on the field. I don't think you'd want to feed her many kills, but a couple would be nice to get the promotion. But like in most of my runs, I bench this unit because she's very good. I think for you she will be decent, so I'm a little torn between 2 and 3 stars. I think in most casual playthroughs, he's basically a 2-star, just because he's like not worth it. But I guess in a casual playthrough, you also don't really care that much about how fast you're going. So yeah, makes her 3-star there as well. I'll go along with 3 stars, but I'm much closer to 2 stars than 3 stars.
Mm-hmm.
3 stars for now.
Yeah.
Not very good. Not very good.
I will say though, I really enjoy her map sprite. For some reason, it just looks really hypnotic though. She like sways her hair back and forth. I really like it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Lene, shall we?
That's a high risk, yeah.
Very high risk. So yeah, here's Lene. She's the daughter of Sylvia and Claude. We did the incest pairing, so she comes with major Bragi blood. This confused my my proofreaders. They were like, nope, she has minor. I was like, nope, no, not if you do the incest pairing. Then you get 2 Bragi major holy blood kids.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Incest, trust guys. It's a coincidence.
We passed down Ruckus's Night Ring. We didn't really know where else to put it. Like, there's other characters that probably could have benefited more from it, but... And I will say that the Night Ring is best in combination with the Leg Ring, but that's a little bit too much money to pass down on 1 unit, and also sell it 1 stat more. Mm-hmm. We also passed down the Shield Sword with Sylvia Getch, which is kind of nice. It's always nice to get a little bit of extra bulk on your dancer.
I think when Seliph promotes, we can try to get the Leg Ring to her, which is one of the reasons why I like Lene better than Layla, because she has more gold.
Yeah, so I actually kind of would have liked to have Layla over Lene, because I just like Layla better, and I just think it would have been fun to have 2 substitutes in my ranked run, but Mecca kind of convinced me to, you can't pass down items to Layla.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, I don't think the Night Ring is going to do very much without the Leg Ring yet, but it saves time.
No, but Layla, her substitute, I like her better because she comes with Charisma, which is a really good skill. But Lene does have Miracle. And she always has Miracle, regardless of pairing, because she gets that from her mother. And that will allow her, if you... Like, I'm not very good at Miracle manipulation, but if you do it right, it allows you to just get through the arena very easily, which is nice. But as a combat unit, Lene will not really be good. Not that she needs to. Claude kind of screws over her growth rates majorly. She has no strength to speak of whatsoever. Her magic is actually really good at 50%, so her magic will actually be better. So if we can get her a fire sword, that might not be so bad for her in the arena. Or actually, no, keep him... The fire sword, it's for physical, doesn't it?
You just did a bro.
I did a bra.
You did a bra. Please don't.
I'll stop brewing. But anyway, okay. So it doesn't matter how bad she's in combat, because she's a dancer, which means she can refresh 4 units, and you've seen how broken that is. And the Night Ring's gonna help. It's not really gonna help her get into position to dance anymore, but it will allow her to get, like, you don't necessarily need to optimize her movement every turn, you can just canto the rests, which might make it easier to get her into position next turn, which is nice. And, you know,
Absolutely.
just being a dancer in and of itself is worth 5 stars, regardless, especially in FE4 where dancers are 4 times as effective. And I personally think it's always fun to set up good dances, even though I'm not very good at it. It's always nice to try and like configure your position so that you can dance for 4 units, and it feels very great when you pull it off. So yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Well, 5 out of 5 stars. We're good
Yeah. Definitely 5 stars. I guess I'll just touch on like the minor things. So the reason I don't like Charm very much on Layla, not enough to like not pair up Sylvia, is because I feel like dancers should be far away from combat, and just the way they move and the way they refresh others, they will usually be ahead of your audience. Because what happens, for example, is like turn 1, put like 4 people in a little like diamond, you dance for them, and then you move further ahead. Now these guys are going to fight, but they're going to be very far away from your dancers, so Charm is very difficult to make use of for those people. You can make use of it with other people sometimes, but generally I don't find Charm very helpful unless you're like, you're just fighting the last boss of the map, everyone's gathered around in a circle, you get like Charm. But even in those cases, I don't think it's very, like, it's not adding very much, because you already have 2 Charm uses anyway, so I don't think it adds very much. I'd much rather have the Inheritance with the Night Ring, which would have cost like 20,000 gold or 40,000 gold, depending on bargain. So yeah, that's why I like Lene a lot better than Lena, but they're both 5-star uses easily. Another thing that I like about this Lene is because she had Claude as her dad, let's say this properly, she's actually getting pretty good resistance. She already has like a base of 6 and probably has pretty good growth too, because I remember Claude's growth is pretty good. And then that makes her that makes it easier to survive like long range magic. Like there's a lot of Fenrir in this game and like some meteors somewhere, and that can help her be safe without, you know, being a danger. And it also helps with miracle manipulation in the arena when you're fighting magic enemies. So those are all like minor things that help her a little bit, I think. And then between Miracle and the Shield Sword, or the Defense Sword, or whatever it's called in the old translation patch, that also makes it easier to manipulate miracles. So you definitely have to be on the lookout for that, because this is going to be, besides the Thief, it's going to be the hardest character to get to high levels.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's all I got to say on Lene. Good character, good dancer, as always.
Nice. So, yeah, Faval, he's here. Major Ulur blood guy. He's the son of Bridget and Dew. And the Ufal just automatically gets passed down. If you, I mean, unless you opt to not have the combo.
Who would do that?
Who would do such a thing? I don't know, man. So, yeah, Faval. Kind of like Bridget, he deletes everything he goes up against, although I do think that he's not as reliable at deleting things that people say, because again, the Ufal lacks accuracy, something fierce. 70% hit is not that great, and it doesn't give any bonuses to skill either. So I find that unless you put him in leadership range, Faval's hit rates are actually kind of unreliable at times. I'd even opt to maybe give him a killer bow or something so he can actually just hit things. Once he gets a couple levels and he promotes to sniper, that will fix itself, but people are like, oh, Faval kills everything. It's like, no, not when he misses. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Ufal does a crap ton of damage, but that doesn't do much if you can't hit your target. His growth rates are decent, especially with Dew as his father, but Faval is probably one of the weakest units, honestly, in the 2nd generation, at least among this bunch, because, again, locked to 2 range, foot locked, bad inaccurate bow. Like, I feel like the 10 strength and 10 speed on the Ufal, they're nice bonuses, but I think I would actually have preferred it if the Ufal was like plus 10 skill, honestly, because it has so much might anyway. I feel like his strength is just complete overkill.
Funny, isn't it, that plus 10 strength and plus 10 speed are not good enough bonuses?
Yeah, no, but I would have moved that plus 10 strength bonus to plus 10 skill instead, actually. It would have made him better.
Yeah, me too.
So
what do you rate him then?
Gives him like life as a skill, like the renewal, which I also think is kind of dumb on an archer because he doesn't really see that much combat. So I don't know, like Faval probably like around 2 stars for me, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a conservative rating. I can see myself giving him 1 star in practice because archers are so fucking bad in this game when they're not on a horse. It's so fucking bad. Even though chapters coming up, like the segment coming up this chapter is all Draco Knights, and then the next chapter is also almost all Draco Knights, I still think Faval is kind of bad because he just doesn't get around very much. The only way this guy is like really getting shit done is if you give him both the leg ring and a night ring, then he'll probably get something done. But generally, locked to range and no mountains. So fucking bad. I said about Jamk, I said about Bridget, I'll say it about Faval too. It's just not that good. Definitely the worst holy weapon user in the game overall. Which is unfortunate, because he does hit kind of hard. I did like him on the playthrough. I did like killing things with him when I was just going at a slow pace, but he just can't keep up in practice. But, you know, I think he'll be, like, if you need to feed kills to him, he'll do fine. Like, he's not as hard to give kills to as, like, Tinni or Leif or Johalvier. He'll be better at that, I think. But he's kind of on a level. It'll take him a while to get the promotion. I wish you got like a horse and Porsche or something. That'd be really fucking cool. But yeah, I'm like in a ranked context, I guess 2 stars in practice for my playthroughs. The way I play, I would give him 1 star. But for now, I'll just go with 2 stars. I think that's generally fine.
Yep.
It's weird. A lot of people think he's like really, really good, but stats just aren't everything.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his bases, like, it's pretty crazy. Like, in essence, 24 strength and 28 base speed. That's pretty crazy for a level 9 archer, right?
Yeah, even at this point in the game, it's pretty good.
In FE4, like, it just means he kills a unit.
Yeah.
And that's and since all enemies move in formations, like, unless you wipe out the entire formation, Faval's ever gonna just be that guy who kills 1 unit.
Yeah, and and he's on foot, so like he's not even that easy to get to kill one of these units because he'll often be behind everyone else.
Yeah.
Your horses just kind of race ahead.
And against,
I will say if the AI thing works, where he counters to range enemies, even though they have 1 to range, then it makes him quite a bit better. But I don't think that's reliable.
And if he goes like, you might say, oh, he can be good against like the scary holy bloods like Bloom and Ishtar, but not really, because again, his hit is garbage.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if this incarnation of Faval one kills Ishtar. It depends on his strength, I think. Because he has 54 attack. I think Ishtar had like 42 HP and 12 defense or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I think he's like maybe barely 1, but it's
he's always
close.
Borderline, and his hit rate would be garbage. He barely crosses 100 hit at base here.
Yeah.
And Ishtar, I'm looking at her stats right now. She has 42 HP and 10 defense.
He would actually one-shot her exactly.
Yeah, he would one-shot this one, but if his strength was a little worse.
Yeah, we did cap out both you and Bridget, so like normally you do not do that. So his strength can be a little lower.
I think Dew has slightly higher strength growth than Holden. I don't remember exactly how much strength they would pass down per se, because a lot of it is like class-based, which don't get passed down. But I've seen him not one-shot.
Oh yeah, it happens.
Some parents.
So yeah, here said he is the son of Fee and Noish. Aaron is Anoish, that's right.
Very good, very good. I'm proud of you. Character arc.
With Noish being his dad, we didn't pass down a single item to him, but he doesn't need anything, because let me just tell you, this goddamn tome right here, it is quote-unquote the weakest light tome, but it is in fact one of the best tomes in the game. I'd say this tome right here rivals Holy Weapons. So, not only does it have an astounding 90% hit, 14 might is a lot on a tome. It's really good. It has 5 weight, so it hardly slows him down, and it also gives him weapon triangle advantage against any other magic type, and it's even neutral against dark magic, which is only like the only light tomes are neutral against dark magic tomes in this game. So with this tome, it's pretty much all he needs to be good. Like, I'd never see how you give him anything else.
I give him some staffs.
That's true. If Deidre had the light tome in chapter 2 and onwards, she'd be so much better.
I mean, Deirdre doesn't have pursuit though.
That's true, but still.
Whereas Seth, he has quite a couple of skills. Just a couple.
So, Seth, we gave him Noish as a dad, not because we thought it would help him in any way, although Noish does pass down pretty decent skills to him. He does give him costs and critical, which is nice to have. So Seth has pretty much every other, like, attack multiple times skill in the game. He has Pursuit, he has Adapt, he has a cost, and he also has Crit, in case he needs a Crit, which he seldom does to get the kill. It's funny, you may look at Seth and you go like, wow, 10% magic growth? What a bad unit, right?
Okay, there's overwhelmed.
But with 16 base magic and 21 speed and the light tome, he doesn't need a single point of magic to be good. Like, he'll kill everything. Like, he'll one round literally everything he goes up against, except for like some of the last bosses in the game. Sadly, we won't really be using Sed to do a lot of combat because he'll mostly be a staff bot. We'll kill a couple of things with him maybe here and there if we need to, but again, the sad nature of a ranked run is that units that can use staves will kind of just be spamming staves to get experience. But that being said, we'll probably use Sed for something. I do like to give him the silence staff and use him to silence Ishtar, although...
Good luck with that with Noish as a dad.
I just realized that that's not really possible with Noish as a dad, so we'll have to find another solution for that, but that's okay. We have plenty of overpowered Holy Blood kits to take down Ishtar anyway. He has a lot of strength, which won't help him in any way, but I mean, just take a look at his bases.
Yeah, nice strength at level 14, it's so much.
Yeah, and a 50% strength growth for a sage, that's pretty funny. Too bad this isn't the game where strength reduces the weight of tomes, or else it'd actually be kind of good. But yeah, just look at this guy's stats. They're good in all areas, really. He's bulky, he's dodgy, he hits hard, he's a great unit. Probably would give him a 5-star if it wasn't for his late joy time, so I'm gonna bump it down to 4. But he's still a ridiculously good unit.
Yeah, he's kind of like this game's Pent in a way. You cover pretty much everything pretty nicely. His magic isn't really that great. It's just the reason we can emphasize feeding the pairing is because set spaces alone pretty much get the job done. I'll just shine a light on his, no pun intended. On his auto weapon ranks, he has like B Wind, B Fire, and B Thunder. If you ever want to give him anything else than the Light Tome, and B Staves, like without any Holy Blood boosting any of these. So you can use L Wind if you wanted to. You can use like all kinds of different staffs, like the Physics Staff, the Sleep Staff, the Silence Staff, the Warp Staff, Return Staff, Recover Staff. Pretty much anything you want him to do, we can do. The only thing you can't use right now is the Fortify Staff. That one you can only use if you give him Claude as a dad, and that would be a nice extra too. That one also gives him really good magic. Just some straight up 2-shot stuff. Same if you give him Angels of that, but that's not that great of a pairing. But in this one, instead, he gets all the multi-hit skills, which is good too. I think he's actually still, despite the huge magic nerf we gave him, I think he still has a shot at 2-hit killing these Draco Knights that we're facing, as well as the ones in the next chapter, which is insane, because this is about the lowest magic you can give him. And he's still just 2 shots. He doesn't even need the skills. So dumb. This guy is really good, but like you said, not available for a long time, and he doesn't have a mount. But still really good, so 4 stars for me too.
Yeah. So also, I think we already mentioned this, but like a lot of people are like, here, give him the Forsetti. That's overkill. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, I mean, there's good reasons to give him Forsetti. Don't get me wrong. Like he's really good at killing bosses with it, and he's like Arthur doesn't guarantee kills without the Pursuit Ring, which can be kind of annoying, as we've seen a couple times. But I think the slight inconvenience that gives us is like not really worth swapping the pairing over. No. And like we made Arthur from a pretty mediocre mage, kind of like an Azel 2.0, and we said we made him into one of our best units, whereas Steady really wouldn't improve that much from it. He would improve, but not as much as Arthur did.
Yeah.
And, it's his communism emblem, so we gotta do that.
So yeah, and now we get one of like the last joining units in the 2nd generation, and oh boy, can't wait to see the basis on a character that joins in chapter 9. They must be What?
To be fair, his stats don't matter.
It's very true, actually. So yeah, here's what do you call him?
I try to say Cairple, but I always say no idea. I'm just waiting for him to be added for heroes, and they'll call him Cairple.
I'm just gonna say Corporal. I'm sorry. I'm
Stop saying Cairple.
So here's Corporal. He is the son of Claude and Sylvia, and he joins as a level 1 priest, which is pretty hilarious, honestly.
Just the XP rank bumping.
I mean, yeah, like he's free XP basically. So yeah, Corporal. He being the son of Claude gives him major Bragi Blood. We passed on the Valkyria staff, although I don't honestly see us ever using it. Maybe like in the final chapter if I don't want to load.
I guess it can also be used to warp someone, kind of.
That's true, actually. It can be used to warp someone to the home castle. It's like a very long-range rescue
it's
stuff.
It's the most painful warp someone will ever take.
But luckily, he also comes with the Fortify stuff, and that's like that'll be his ticket to level 30. Fortify and Physic. That is what he'll use to just auto level to 30. I mean, he has stats, he has growths, but they don't really matter because he's a priest, and all he will be doing is staff botting, which, you know, he'll do that from level 1 to 30. He'll fight a little bit in the arena if he reaches level 20. He has Adepts, so I don't know.
Miracle.
There's miracles, so yeah, I guess he can go through the arena. I think he'll win pretty soundly, actually. He'll kill any magical enemies, that's for sure, because he's probably going to cap his res. But
for
yeah,
sure.
I don't know, like, it's kind of hard to give him a star ranking, honestly. I feel like he's completely unnecessary. Like, part of me just wants to give him 1 star because he comes so late, and all he can do is staff spam, which a lot of our other units can do too. But I think it's probably more fair to just give him a 2-star rating, because he does have useful utility stats, just like the Fortify, although you could have easily passed them down to someone else, I think. Actually, there might not have been that many kids who could use them, actually, at base. I think Orbital might be the only one who can, but yeah, I'll 2-star, probably. I don't know. Like, he's just basically 30 free levels.
29, but yeah, definitely. In the context of like a normal casual playthrough, I would definitely give this guy just easy 1-star, because there's no reason to use him. He's not better than anyone else. He doesn't have any kind of niche that anyone else has, unless you count the Valkyrie staff, but even that is not unique to him. Someone else could use it. Seth could use it if you pass down it to him. His res is good, like you said, but that's like the only thing that really stands out about him. I guess his staff rank is pretty good. If you don't pair Sylvia, you get Charlo instead, and he can have the Berserk staff. That's kind of a niche that could be useful.
Yeah.
That makes some people think that Charlotte was better because he also has Paragon, but I don't think you need Paragon on this kind of a unit to reach level 30 in ranked runs, so I personally don't value that very much. I can see why it's better in a casual playthrough, but I honestly don't think it matters much. Because they're also superfluous. You have so many of these kind of units, except they're all better with more magic and better ranks and better stuff. And this guy can't attack, and it takes 19 levels before he can like get arena money. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. This guy fucking sucks. But I can't think of any other like 1-star units in this game, so I'll just give him 1-star good.
Wow.
But,
okay.
Like for the purpose of a rank run, it's nice that you don't have to do anything with him, but you also don't have to do anything with him. I can't really give someone a good rating for not having to do anything, you know?
Yeah, right.
Like he's like completely so the things he can do is get to level 30. That's something he does to himself. Doesn't really help me complete the game in any way.
No, that's very true. In FE5, in FE5 where like you need multiple staff users, he'd be good.
Yes.
But in this game, because he doesn't.
This
really
guy is also really good in FE5. He gives you the warp staff.
He does. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Hannibal.
Say hello to Hannibal. He is part of the savior archetype. That's like, general, hard to recruit, but worth it. Except he's not. He's bad. He's a level 20 general. He comes with a couple skills. He comes with Pavise, Adept, and a cost. Adept is nice, I guess, but he's bad. Like, I think even in casual playthroughs, I think most players just put him on defending the main castle and just forget about him. That's pretty much his job. In our rank playthrough, like, there's 10 levels we gotta give him, which shouldn't be too hard. We have a Brave Sword with a lot of crit. We can just give that to him, and I think he'll clear the arena pretty well. Yeah, like, what can you say about Hannibal? He's just trash. He joins super late. His stats suck. He can't really fight. His survivability isn't even that good, to be honest. We have plenty of characters that have more defense than him at this point. 1-star, just bad.
Like who?
I don't know, Patty.
Fair enough. She has the shield ring, though.
I think she has 21 base defense, actually.
But she also has the shield ring.
Yeah.
So you gave him 1-star?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I agree. I don't think his stats are like trash. Like 60 HP and 20 strength and 20 defense. That's pretty goddamn high. And when a guy does that pursuit, I don't really care about their speed that much. And he has Pavise, so his survivability, I think, is still really good. Like, not only can he use like that hero blade, hero sword, whatever, to the arena, he can use any physical weapon. He can use swords, lances, axes, even though they suck, and lances suck too. And then he can use bows for like the ranged arena, so he can get through the arena fine. And apparently, I keep stressing this because I just think it's so funny. If you can clear the arena, you're a good character. Like, people say Jamka's good because he can clear the arena. People say Larcei is good because he can clear the arena. So by that logic, Hannibal's can clear the arena, so he must be a good character. And then you might say, well, but he does like 5 move. Well, yeah, but a lot of other guys have 5 moves, some have 6, and some people still like those characters. So I say, what's the difference? It's 5 move.
I don't know. I think there might be other reasons people like Larcei, but I can't pinpoint any right now.
I don't know. People like beards, don't they? So that should be enough.
They do, actually, but I mean, I will say Hannibal's Cypher art is fucking amazing. Like, have you seen it? He looks so good in it. Holy crap. You're looking it up, aren't you?
Of course. I guess the black shield and everything.
He looks so cool. It's one of the
by Oifey or something. Holy shit!
I think so. Like, I think Hannibal is one of my favorite Cypher arts in the game. Like,
I'm
really
sorry,
good.
I got an AFK for a bit and like changed my underwear. But
yeah, it's really good. Too bad he's nowhere near as cool as he looks.
Yeah, he's got that Shima factor going on.
Yeah, he really does.
But yeah, I do agree. He is 1-star. He's not like, just like with Cairple, it's like you don't really have a purpose for him at this point in the game. And he doesn't have like any kind of niches that you want him to use. He can castle guard, but castle guarding isn't particularly difficult anyway. So it's like if you raised Ardent all the way up and promoted him, you get sort of this basically. But he can defend the castle against the three-headed Dragon and Assault at base level, which is pretty good.
So, you know what they could have done to make him more relevant? We could have let him keep his 5 leadership stars. That'd be cool.
Who's commanding, like Cairple?
I don't know. Anyway, what rating do you give him?
1-star.
Yeah, not very surprising. Alright, last unit that joins, and oh boy, is she one of the best ones. Holy crap, Altena is here, and she is Stronka, daughter of Etlin and Quan. And she comes with the almighty Gayborg that Quan got to use for like 2 seconds before he fucked off in Chapter 3. So yeah, Altena's crazy. Like, look at those bases, man. Like 34 strength, 28 skill, and 31 defense. That's pretty fucking insane. We only passed on a Silver Lance with Quan, apparently. I guess we decided to let the other lances go on other guys.
Yeah, because she joins so late, and like the only other person who can get lances is Fee, and she can make use of them much earlier than she can. So there's no point in passing her down much. The Gable is all she needs anyway.
So with Major and Minor Holy Blood, Altena's growth rates are through the roof. And she lacks Pursuit initially, but luckily when she promotes to Draco Master in 3 levels, she gets that as a class skill. So with that, she becomes probably one of like your strongest combat units, honestly. And the fact that she can fly too is pretty insane. She'll kill pretty much everything she touches. The Gable just is a really good lance. It doesn't give speed like the Gungnir does, which is a little shame because she is actually kind of slow. Like she only has like 4 base speed when using the Gable, but you can always like, I don't know, swap to a lighter lance, I guess, if you want to double, but most of the time she'll just one-shot whatever she touches because she does 64 damage at base with the Gable, and once she promotes again, she'll become even better, and thanks to her insane growth rates, her stats are just going to go through the roof. Combat-wise, I'd probably like rate her 5 stars. I kind of want to rate her 5 stars anyway because she flies and is good, but I think late join time kind of bumps that down to 4 stars because you don't get to play around with Altena for as long as you want to, but she is probably one of the best units in the game, like based on her pure combat performance and mobility. It's just that the low join time kind of hampers her a little bit.
Okay, so I'm going to do something a little surprising. I think Altena is one of the worst Wyvern Riders in the world.
Wow, really?
Because it's very weird, because you'd think this kind of unit is like super good, right? Holy Weapon, insane attacking power, very close to promotion, high movement in a game dominated by mounted units. Flyer, like Mecha sees a flyer and like instantly has to change his pants again, even though he just did it because of Hannibal's beard or whatever. But the problem with Altena is this is the worst game to be a flyer in by far, I think, because the rope bonus helps horses so much. Like she cannot keep up with Seliph, and when you can't do that, that kind of sucks. She's better off than like Arden or Hannibal or whatever, but it's still kind of annoying. She can't take advantage of terrain either, which is kind of annoying because a lot of armies in this map or in this game, they're kind of hard to survive when you don't have the option of terrain bonuses. And for Altena, she's fighting against physical enemies. Like she has insane defense, she has insane durability. She's like 31 defensive base with the Gable and 50 HP. That's fine. It's going to increase very fast too because of her Holy Blood and everything. The problem is that after this chapter, there's going to be a lot of dark mages, like so many dark mages. Like chapter 10, the start is all dark mages. Chapter 10, the middle castle is all dark mages. Then after that, the way to Johalvier Castle, I'll just call it that, is also very magical based. There's also a lot of bows. She's weak to bows, and from this point on, you're going to see a lot of armies with like very diversified weapons. Like the army we just saw from Musar had like one of every weapon type except for bows. But the next chapter, you'll see like groups of like mounted units, and there'll always be a couple bow users in there. And Altena's very bad against those because they get an automatic critical. And then like the final chapters, again, all magic. And she's also, I feel like she's really bad against fellow holy weapon users, which is kind of what she should excel at. Like generic enemies, you can kill those with just about anyone. She does okay. She, like you said, she's kind of slow. She has trouble doubling sometimes, but she will usually like 1v1, which is fine. With holy weapon users, like I can't think of a single enemy holy weapon user that she's actually like really good against, except maybe the guy with the axe, which is ironic considering the weapon triangle, but that guy's like the easiest out of all of them.
Burian, yeah.
But like Thorhammer just wrecks her. Loptier just wrecks her. I mean, fair enough to wrecks everyone, but still. What else is there? That guy with the Faval flame wrecks her pretty hard. So like, listing them off like that, and like Arion wrecks her. So she can't really go toe-to-toe with those. And like even Eris is better at that than her. So I don't actually think she's that good. I still can't give her like below 3 stars because, I mean, Wyvern Rider with 64 attack, how can I rate that very low? But I don't think she's one of the best units in this game by far. And I usually put her pretty low on tier list, but I will say for most casual players, she'll be much better than this. But I think she's a fair bit overrated. I think like 3 stars is fine for her. But like you said, low availability sucks, and then the armies that she fights are just very good against her for some reason. Like in a vacuum, she looks very good. But in the context of what's coming up in this game, I think she's not very good.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. Yeah, that's an interesting take on Altena. Like, I've always considered her really good because of her stats, but yeah, you're right. Because of the enemy composition she plays.
I mean, just look at this castle. It's a Fenrir mage and 6,000 ballistas. What's she gonna do here?
Ooh.